Hi guys, so I just want to do a little analysis on Jeffy. I like Jeffy, he's cool as fuck. Um, but I see in him some of the what I now consider like flaws in the pickup community and the this whole movement or whatever. And I got into it fucking 10 or 13 years ago. I don't know. I was 16. I'm 31 now, so that was a fucking long time ago. And forgive the sirens. One of the things that they told us a lot was like, you don't have to worry about. I used to go to clubs like with T-shirts like this, a little nicer, but T-shirt, go to the club in a T-shirt, and I thought like, yeah, I don't need to dress nicely. I can just like rock a T-shirt, and it's true. And it's like you don't have to worry about your physical appearance. Like Julian went down to the club like smelling like shit. He would still like get all these hot girls. So it's like the power of the game, of all this seduction community or whatever, tips, whatever skills, overpowered the importance. Like they would be enough so that you could still do all that shit without having to dress nicely. So so one of the things that these people and myself ignored for so many years, and it's only until now that I kind of fucking woke up and realized it, is the importance of looking fucking nice. You know, it's not because like this mentality, the pickup mentality, and you can see my fucking disgusting nails. This is one of the things that I need to fix. But one of the things that this guy's like mentalities of the pickup community is like, is like the skill, the skill, the skill. Don't worry about your appearance. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about your clothes. Like your verbal skills will do anything. But the problem with that is that it's focusing on an external payout. It's like, what do you need to do to get the girl? And the problem with that is that it's once you realize like it's not all about the fucking woman. It's not all about getting the girl. It's also about how you feel about yourself, which of course is also going to impact, whether you get the girl or not. But now, and I've had this epiphany like a few years ago, and then I lost it, and then I fucking came back to it. But it's like now, like I'm always fucking dressed nicely, every fucking day, dress shirt, tucked in, fucking. I just ate some pizza, but you know, I got my fucking Hugo Boss belt. I got some walking shoes because my fucking feet are fucked up, and but I did have some nice dress shoes, but they fucking hurt as hell, so I need to get some new comfortable ones. But I should have been dress shoes, some pants like this. Sorry, this is fucking. I just ate some pizza, like I said. I got my dress shirt. The only reason I'm wearing this watch is because I have like all these timers. This watch has like two different timers, intermittent timers. But if I didn't need that fucking timer so much, I would have, like a nicer watch. And this fucking bracelet, this thing, I'm gonna change to like a nicer bracelet. And then I'm working on my nails. Like I'm working on my, but it's only recently I had this epiphany, and I cut my hair more often now. My beard is trimmed like like even my fucking balls and everything is trimmed. Everything is, like I'm trying to be as groomed as possible, to look as good as possible, to be as sharp as possible, to always be like dressed elegantly, not this like casual bullshit. Because when you dress like this, whether you don't want to or not, it affects how you feel. Okay, I'm sure it also sends a message because it's like, for example, Jeffy is doing this, product that he's selling, but he's wearing this fucking bullshit ass shirt. Like, what seriousness are you giving to this scenario? Like, you should be dressed nicely. Maybe not a fucking tie or whatever, but you gotta show them your respect to wherever you are. But I'm also going to talk about, his hair. It's like, it's kind of like, it's not as sharp as it could be. His beard is not as sharp as it could be. You can see in his eyes, like, the stoner eyes, and you can see in his gaze, or his, his you could see, like, there's no he has no ojas, which is the spiritual energy. You can see that he has low energy because he fucking comes a lot. He's ejaculates too much. That's why his energy level is low. I mean, I can tell because I've done this for like 10 years on and off, so I kind of notice now much better. But I can see, like, if he was had more ojas, his eyes would be more bigger, and kind of like, if you kind of perceive his energy, is like the energy of the world is overpowering his own energy. That's kind of like, he has like this reactive, like, small self reacting to a bigger world. Whereas when you have like a strong ojas or energy, your energy gets so strong that you're not kind of like in this reactive kind of shell energy, because you're strong enough, and you see the world around you as weaker. So because it is weaker, because you have like a lot of energy, you're retaining, you're not fucking coming all the time. Like, this is like somebody that ejaculates too much, watches too much porn, smokes weed, and there's no way that you can outgame out of this. That's what I'm kind of like realizing finally. Like, this stuff matters, okay, and it matters for seduction, and it matters for success. It matters for overall quality, self-esteem. Dressing nice. If you're a stoner that faps or has sex all the time, your face is gonna fucking show it. Your energy levels are gonna show it, and you're gonna have this kind of low energy. You can see, for example, I would say she has like her energy levels are basically normal. So she's not has like this anxiety that Jeffy has. Like, she's probably not a fucking stoner. She's probably not a weed addict. She's probably not having sex 24/7 like Jeffy, and you can kind of sense it in her energy, and you can just perceive subtly the strength of her energy. I don't know how to explain it, but she looks more integral, more almost like compact, like almost. Obviously, she's like an old lady, but if you can perceive her, how obviously she's a teacher of Alexander technique, so she has great posture. But like, let's just go back and look. So, weakness, the neck is weak. It's not like he's upright, shooting energy out of his face. It's kind of weak because he has so much sex that he drains out his lower chakras, which end up draining all of his energy, which makes him naturally have bad posture. Okay, so what I want to say about the game, I think it's going to be something I'm going to say a lot. It's like, you there's levels to things. Like, yeah, Jeffy is cooler than a fucking loser nerd that can't even, talk or whatever, but he's still not at his highest self. And you can see in his eyes, you can see the sadness. You can see you can like I said, you can tell everything from somebody's vibe. He's not in control of his life. He's not in control of. You can probably imagine his apartment is fucking disgusting. If this is the best he could come up to this show, how does he look in his worst days? Okay. So all those things matter. Okay, that's what I want to say. Like, how organized you are, how your sex life, if you're a fucking pervert, if you're watching like disgusting porn, if you're doing like disgusting things, um, 9 times out of 10, you give off that vibe somehow. There are some people that have not, there are some fucking pedophiles that, that not that I met any personally, but like, or like people that, serial killers or whatever, that are like famous for being like extremely, like you would never ever think that they were that. But 9 times out of 10, I think, even if you don't feel like somebody's a serial killer or a fucking pedophile or a fucking pervert sex addict, you intuitively sense that there's something wrong. So I can now sense it much more because I just look at the eyes and the gaze. It's like how lost, it's like the more you dive into vices and pleasure, the more ojas you burn, which is your spiritual energy, which is also your soul. So the more lost you become, and then you end up with a gaze like this. And I've been here fucking many years, decades, and I'm not there anymore. I was just looking at my eyes in the mirror, and I'm like, fucking have a powerful gaze, and I just I'm not here anymore. But I was here because why? Because masturbation, porn, sex addict, weed smoking, being on not control of my life. Now I'm fucking getting organized and have my shit together. But I think I don't know if I get my point across, but there's no way that you can outgame your shitty life. It's like imagine you're a fucking girl and this guy comes up to you. That's not gonna. That's you already kind of know. Like girls are instantly measure you, so yeah, they can overpower. Their negative appearance and energy with the game. But these guys have been doing this for fucking 10 years. They know all the fucking tricks. They have all the experience. They can, they can do it. But even then, like I think what I want to get to is that women, even like they still know that you're basically a piece of shit. Yeah, you can get them to fuck with you, have sex with you, but they're not gonna look at you and look at a potential mate because they know you're a fucking perv, you're a fucking player. Yeah, you got the skills. Yeah, you got the vibe. You got everything just enough to get the fucking pussy and have sex, but they know that you're not, somebody of value that they wanna live, the rest of their life with. So kind of my approach now and my understanding now is, build yourself up, become a fucking man, dress fucking nice, be groomed. I'm losing weight right now. I just lost 1 kilo in this week, and I still have a lot to go. But because I was of this mentality as well, like physical appearance doesn't matter, and you can get any girl you want without any. Yeah, but what about your self-esteem? What about looking in the mirror and looking at a fucking belly? That's not good. So I realized that at last. We need to up our physical game to the max. And yeah, you don't need to be the Giga Chad fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you should be fucking like if you consider yourself like this guy's like how do you say master of seduction, how the fuck do you look like this when looks do matter? You know what I mean? Like they got too into the how do you say, like it's to the instant gratification aspect of the pussy, of like, yeah, I can go out and get all this pussy. Why do I need to look better if I can just look like shit and still get the hot girls. What happens is that you end up with a low self-esteem because you know that you look like shit and you know that you're not physically where you should be. Like Jeffy and all these pickup guys should be ripped. Not necessarily Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they should fucking have 6 abs. Like, they've been doing this for fucking 20 years. How can they have not come to this conclusion? And I myself took so long to realize it. I guess it's a type of virus mentally of this kind of like pickup shit, like oh we can do it easy. First of all, it's all about like the whole pickup community and seduction. Most of it is about the instant gratification of basically at the end of the day, if you boil it down, is like, how do we fulfill our needs? How do I get what I want? How do I get the pussy? How do I get the hot girls? How do I get the social skills to get the pussy? So if you analyze that, you're thinking about how to fulfill your needs, how to fulfill your wants, right? So what does that translate to? It translates to undiscipline. It translates to not having a top physique or a decent physique. It translates to being a stoner. It translates because you fucking smoke too much because that's what you wanted, because you're all about pleasure. You ate too much because you're all about pleasure. And you look like shit because you don't care about, you don't care about your looks or wearing a nice shirt or whatever. Just being comfortable, whatever. And you don't take enough time to make your hair because that takes effort. So it's like the whole emphasis, the whole pickup world has this mental virus. And you could see it with Julian. Like Julian, I thought of him, RsdJulian blank, as one of the greatest, seduction masters in the whole world, if not the greatest. But after analyzing him, like, he would come out and he had like this disgusting like belly, which I have it right now, but I'm getting rid of it. But at the same time, it's like you can't. It's like you can't underestimate. You cannot. You have to give importance to that because that matters. Like how can you be like? Yeah, you can get a girl to bed quickly, but I don't know how often these guys can keep them. And when I see like even infield footage of Julian, yeah, there are some that he's like killing it because he's on the fucking zone and he's like fucking his energy level is insane and girls get attracted to that despite his appearance and his his belly fat and his debaucherous lifestyle. But I think once that wears off, like, the girl's gonna look at that. Like, I think this guy's, and I think that's one of the reasons, like, a lot of these pickup people have this problem, and I had this problem myself, where you can get the girl, but it's like she doesn't stay. And I think that's the reason. She doesn't stay because it was like, so this is kind of like what the girl needed, kind of like per minimum value level for her to sleep with somebody. And it's like you're here and you use pickup and it's like you fucking get in the zone, you know all this verbal shit, you have all these skills in the club or whatever, and you and then it's like as quick as possible you fucking jump over that thing, you have sex with her, and then it's like you come down again to the reality of who you are. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like game and seduction and all this is like, yeah, we should know the skills, we should know the techniques and the basics about human interactions, not so much techniques, but the basics. But this is one of the basics. How you fucking look. The dress makes the man. That's what one of Shakespeare, I think Shakespeare, Hamlet's father told him, or some fucking of this Shakespearean people, but I remember I read that, like, some father gave, like, son advice in one of the Shakespeare's plays, and it was I didn't read the actual book. I read it in like the whole thing because I was researching about this topic about dressing. And the guy said, gave all these tips to his son. And it's a really great read. Fuck, I wish I remembered what book it was from. But one of the things it said was, the dress makes the man. You dress like a fucking kid, like shit, you're gonna feel like that. You dress nicely. Like, imagine Jeffy right now with a tie, whatever. Like, the difference in his energy, like just everything. But I think really, I think this is what we made wrong in the game. Is all this focus on technique, all this focus on the verbal, the getting like, kind of like your shitty self is here, and how to kind of get enough to jump over the girl's hoop and then fall back again to your shitty self. Where we should be focusing on, like, not so much being like the biggest charisma guy. Like Jeffy kind of like prides himself on being like super witty, super charismatic, like kind of like what we think a cool guy should be like. But that's kind of try hard if you think about it. And a real, alpha, giga chat, whatever, really doesn't need to be like quick, witty, and funny, and verbal. That's kind of below him if you think about it. But kind of what a real giga chat, alpha chat, whatever, like the highest version of a male is like. If you think about it, he doesn't need too much witticisms and all these little tricks and all these little things that Jeffy has, or like an amazing resonating voice and all this. Really, like, what is a really, really high value person is like, he has his shit together. He's a good physique. His grooming is, not necessarily perfect, but much better than this. He's not a fucking sexual pervert, because you can see that in the eyes and in the energy level, the weakness. I don't know if you can sense his body is like weak, like you can almost feel like he's like, I could grab him and go like this. It's like a weak, because his energy is low, so it's like, a super attractive man or the highest version of the person doesn't need to be like a super celibate Gandhi, like fucking demigod